I want to welcome everybody tonight. I'm sure there will be other people show up later or not. If they don't, they'll have the recorded version tomorrow. But I want to thank all of you guys for showing up.
You're welcome.
And let me go and share my screen. And we'll get right to it because I'm sure everybody has other things they'd rather be doing. All right. Let's go to the top here. And I hear me in there, Tony. I'm going to shut my door. There we go. Let's see if that helps. I don't hear nothing now. That's good. So,
That helps.
December, guys, can you believe it? What happened to the year?
I don't know.
That is too crazy. Dorothy's at her annual, her every once a month meeting that first Tuesday. She really hates that she misses this, but there's nothing she can do. It's the way it is, you know. Tonight we're going to do our little gathering room. We're going to cover the healthy games. We got an invitation to a party for those that are local. We're going to do a little parable and then today's success story. If anybody wants to contribute anything on the way, just interrupt me and take over. Always welcome people with their comments. So here's our little statements. Let me see, I haven't even picked mine out yet. Let's see. I don't have an annoying thing. I don't even know where I'm going to be spending Christmas. I can tell you what my favorite and my worst gift, well, they were the same thing, believe it or not. My parents didn't have a whole lot of money. Mama made most of the things that we got for Christmas, but they bought this doll for me, and it was called a Poor Pitiful Pearl. Anybody ever heard of Poor Pitiful Pearl?
No.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she was really ugly. That's why they called her Poor Pitiful Pearl. I loved that doll. I've looked it up on the internet, and yeah, they actually still have dolls out there that you can buy if you want to. Who wants to go next?
The most annoying thing about the holidays for me is that they start too early. The stores are beginning to sell stuff, and it becomes a sell, get gifts, and nothing about what it really is supposed to be.
Yeah, agreed. Yes.
I think you'll be in agreement across the board there on that.
Yeah, the stores.
And they started so early. I mean, they started at Halloween.
Yeah, that's annoying to me. I want to go to the store and, before Christmas, and it's still already, everything is for Christmas. It's just ridiculous. So that's annoying for me.
Okay. Who's next?
Let me go.
I want to say that what I really want to share is that as long as everything, the doctors say everything is okay, my parents are going to be here for the holidays.
Yeah. Good.
And I'm super excited.
He wants to talk too.
He wants to play, but then when you put him down, he cries. It's close to his bedtime.
I think your chains did the trick, Colleen.
My change.
The chain.
Your Christmas, your Thanksgiving.
I think when she saw those and your dad saw those, they just had to be home for Christmas.
Yeah, and I think my brother actually has Christmas off this year, which he doesn't usually have both off, but he has both off.
Wow.
Right. We're happy you guys are going to be together.
I don't think we've been together as a family since I went in the Army, so.
That's cool. That's going to make it so special.
Yeah, so we're excited. We hope everything goes okay with the doctors. If not, we understand, but it's definitely.
Well, I got the tickets.
Well, I know you got tickets, just as long.
Booked their flight.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah.
You made me cry at work. The girl in front of me laughed at me. Thanks, Mom.
Well, you took your chain to work?
No, I got the email about the tickets at work.
Oh.
And when I didn't know that you were going to come. And then when I saw the tickets, then I started crying. And
I'm sorry.
She laughed at me. No, it's all good. It's fine.
Well, it's all Missy's fault.
Light switch.
It's Missy's fault because she said you don't open your other email that often.
I don't ever.
So she said send it to work.
That's fine, Mom. I'm just teasing. But I did kind of tear up and she laughed at me, but we're friends. It's okay.
That was sweet. Who's next?
I'll go.
My favorite Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
My Christmas gift is going to be a piece of ham.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
That's it.
All righty.
Cool.
Marcia, you next?
Yeah. I guess when I was a kid, I was probably about 10 or so, and my grandparents got me an English racer. And for some reason, it was just, I loved it. And they made sure to stress that it was a Hanukkah present, but I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
But I loved that bike. It was just so exciting to see it standing there, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good memory.
What color? Do you remember?
It was black, a girl's bike.
Yeah. So did y'all celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids like that in our house too.
Yeah.
They get double duty.
Yes.
Well, it made the other kids jealous, I bet.
They want to play with the dreidel. That's what they want to do. Let's play with the dreidel.
Did you learn on that bike or did you already ride?
Oh, I already knew how to ride. It was just replacing a little kiddie bike that I had.
Oh my gosh. I'd love to see a picture of that bike because nothing looks like that today, I'm sure.
Oh, I know.
That was cool. Who's next? Hi, Jerry.
Hi, everybody.
Survived Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Jennifer said it was amazing.
yeah, it was. I own aisle 4 and 6 at the grocery store now.
Oh, that's funny. Then tell them how many you ended up with Thanksgiving.
I think we had 43.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
How many slept at your house?
Well, my house over here only had 3.
Oh, listen at you.
I wasn't here. But we had probably about 15 at Jennifer's.
Oh, okay. She said it was just amazing. It was work and stress, but she said it was just amazing.
Yeah, and then we were 16 short of the ones that normally come.
Right.
Wow.
So you're going to do one of these sentences and finish it?
Oh, yeah. My favorite Christmas gift? You know, it's funny, but there's one thing that pops into my mind was when I was, 13, I got a transistor radio for Christmas.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
And we had actually just moved to Europe about 4 days before Christmas. And, you know, music was big and everything. And of course, us going over there, we were concerned about, you know, not being able to hear radio and listen to music and so forth. And my dad bought me a little small handheld transistor radio that I wanted for Christmas.
Come a long ways from that.
Yeah, and you know, that's just one that when I think about Christmas, that always pops into my head.
That's cool. Where did you live in Europe?
I spent 3 years in France and about 1.5 years in Germany.
I never knew that. I learned something new. Was it military related?
Yeah, my dad was in the Air Force.
That's what I figured. Yeah, he's quite a hero.
So, you know, we stayed over there and then we came back.
That's cool. Who's next?
As a child, my favorite Christmas gift was my father and mother really sacrificed to buy me white ice skates.
Oh,
I had hand-me-downs, and I don't know if you know, but of 14 of us, my aunt Phyllis, who was 12 years older than me, and then finally my sister were the only girls. All the rest of them were boys. So I had like black ice skates for years, and I got my white ice skates.
All right, that's great.
Could you ice skate?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had the river. We used to go on the river, and when it froze, we would go from out in the country where we left about 5 miles. We'd skate down the river.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Once my father tested it and made sure it was okay.
Aw, that's so nice. What a great memory. Carol.
The most annoying thing about the holidays is bad weather.
Yeah.
That's a fact for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? I think that's everybody.
Well, check out one.
Okay.
This year I will be spending Christmas with my family, my kids,
Mm-hmm.
my grandson,
Yeah.
my granddaughters, and me.
That's been a while.
That's great.
Yeah, 9 years.
I think
Good.
it's been 9 years.
You get to be Santa again.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. I enjoyed that. Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
What was yours, Connie?
it.
Huh?
What was yours?
Mine was my poor, pitiful pearl doll.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show it to you. I'll pull it up on the internet and show it to you. It's because it was so ugly. That's why they called her poor, pitiful pearl. So I guess that you've seen in the room that we're in 5th place. That never is a true reflection. I'm actually going to talk to the gentleman that started the challenge and ask him if they can't somehow program the computer where people with less than 10 don't get placed in the ranking. But you can see that we have the biggest room in the ranking. I have Zachary Parker down there because that's how many teams we have playing this time, 456. So that's pretty cool. And we're not in 5th place because if you'll look, one team has 1 member, one team has 5 members, one team has 1 member, and then our dear friend Mary that's always in 1st place, but she usually has a lot more members. This time she only has 12 and we have 19. So we are still holding our 2nd place. And oh, you know who's not here is Norma. I thought Norma would be here tonight.
Yeah.
I put this in for Norma because I knew she wouldn't understand it. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it because Norma will probably watch this tomorrow. And this is a calendar that shows how many points were gotten in any given day. And at this time, I have really structured myself where the posts are getting up timely and the calendar is being made timely. And instead of me keeping all those logs and everything, I am following it all day long. I don't worry about it. 2:30 in the morning, I get up, I look and see who got their points. I take pictures on my camera of the day before, and so that makes that really quick. 95% is just when one person didn't get it, and that's the most that's happened to us since we started. So I think that is successful. And yeah, and that's what we use the calendar for. The total challenge weight loss so far is 8,194 pounds of people who are posting already. The end of the challenge is the 13th, so we've got 12 more days. This has just flown by, and we do get to weigh out until December 15th. They do have a side contest going on. I checked the Fitbits. Nobody in our room won this time. The side contest, I think everybody in our room is already over 750. So a bunch of us will be put into that drawing. And we have a total of 5,883 challengers this time. Any questions?
Nope.
Let me make my mouse work here. So, for the people who are local here, Wanda has invited us to a party at her house, and we're going to do potluck, so we need a little RSP there. We'll, we got noise somewhere. You know where it's coming from? Okay, good. So that's going to be Monday, December 14th, and I'll be talking to all of you folks that live here in the neighborhood, but I thought that was really nice. Rhonda had us over for a party when Carol was here. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did it so that we could have a little party and celebrate Carol being down here.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight I want to share a little parable, and it's the worst thing you can ever do to a grasshopper is place it in a jar. Does anybody know that parable? Have they heard the story?
No.
No.
I hadn't heard it either when I come across it, and I just couldn't help but share it. So, put a grasshopper in a jar, close the lid, and watch what happens. Oh, the grasshopper that repeatedly tries to jump and hits its tail on the lid of the jar will eventually quit trying to jump. The grasshopper by nature is meant to leap, repeatedly hits the man. When it realizes every time it jumps, as it was created to do, it hits its head on the lid and can jump no higher. The will to jump begins to diminish. The grasshopper, which was created to jump, will seek to do what it was designed to do. So I can go out here and see if I can keep the noise coming from. Hey there, Jan.
Hi, coming.
Welcome.
Hi, Jen.
There we go. Let's go
Hi.
back and share the screen again. So, every time the grasshopper tries to do what it was born to do, it is met with opposition that limits how high and how far it can go. It is a gradual decline at first. The grasshopper will only attempt to jump to a certain height, knowing it can jump no further. But inside it knows it was created to jump much higher than it is being allowed to. Over a period of time, the grasshopper will not only lessen its jumping height, to avoid bumping up against opposition, it will decrease the frequency of jumping. At some point, the grasshopper, who was created and designed to jump and hop as high as it can, as often as it wants to, will no longer even try, because the will to do that, do what it was created to do, is gone. People start out like a grasshopper, knowing in their innermost being that they are to jump as high, as far, and as often as they possibly can. They start out young in life with dreams and ambitions, believing they can fly as high as their dreams will take them, that the sky is the limit. Unfortunately, at some point in life, they are like the grasshopper in a jar. They've hit their head on the lid of some sort. The individual has become a hostage of their own perception and mentality. They are tired of trying to jump high only to always be met. So they quit trying to jump as hard and as often, and eventually they quit trying altogether. Their will is broken. At one point, they had great aspirations and dreams, knowing they were created with great abilities and talents to do amazing things. But the lid of life, the lid of circumstances and surroundings over time, causes them not to even bother trying anymore. They reason with themselves, what's the point in aiming high and trying hard? If I am just going to get nowhere. It's tragic, it's sad, and it's unfortunate. And I'm going to go and mute everybody so we don't have that sound in the background, okay?
What's causing that?
I don't know, but I'm muting everybody now. You can unmute yourself if you need to, okay? There we go. So now I'll go back and share my screen. And once we get through, I will unmute everybody again. Okay? So it's that somewhere along the line they were in a jar and it set their mentality for life. These are people who need to be encouraged. They need to know they may have had a grasshopper. They may have had a grasshopper in a jar experience, but they can dream again and jump again because they never lost the ability to do what they were created to do. They just stopped trying. They just need to be encouraged and have their confidence built up to attempt to jump again. We all are, when all an individual knows is failure or obstacles at every turn, it will take faith on their part and a lot of support from others for them to gather the energy to leap. Encourage people, lift up people, motivate and inspire them to use their gifts and abilities to do what they were placed on earth to do. There is no limit to how high they can go. And you have the privilege of watching them grow as they jump higher and harder every day to reach their full potential. And that is a beautiful thing to see. The once jarred grasshopper free and unlimited. So this next part's going to be painful. Maybe not for you, but it's going to be painful for me. You are not a grasshopper, and neither am I. We always share a success story, so I'm going to share mine with you. This happens to be my little sister, and she told me about Take Shape for Life when she was the picture on the left. And then about 2.5 months later, there's a picture of her in Washington in the mall, and you can see how well she did. I took one look at that picture, and I knew if she could do it because I knew her. I knew if it had worked for her that I could do that. And if I couldn't do it, then I knew it would be my fault. This is the painful part. These are pictures of me and Tony. And Tony even got on the program. After I was on the program, I think less than 3 weeks, he asked me, can anybody eat this food? And I said, yeah, anybody can eat this food. And I said, you can go ahead and try some. But then he just got in the program and he was using food. And I said, hey, that's my food. You're going to have to order your own. And so Tony did. He ordered his food. And how much weight did, I got you muted. I think he lost like 30 pounds in the process. And I think he was like 220, and now he has maintained 185 since then. I was smiling, but I can tell you for sure I wasn't happy. And I always put kids in front of me or Tony in front of me. And, you know, I really did feel defeated. I had finally decided that if I was going to be this way, I had to just accept it. I couldn't go through the rest of my life being miserable. So that kind of follows through with that analogy of the grasshopper. I did give up. I did quit. It was seeing Mary that made me start again. And this is me in my 30s on the left, and this is me in my 50s on the right. Like I said, I was smiling, but I was anything but happy. So I started in October of 2010, and you can see it took me till March of 2011 to lose 70 pounds. It was quite a journey. This is the real before and after that made the difference to me. If you look at the dates, you will see that 7/26/2010, my cholesterol was at 230. My triglycerides were at 124, and my LDL was at 168. So in March of 2011, which is when I reached that weight, you can see I went from 230 to 135 in cholesterol, and the triglycerides went down from 124 to 74, and my LDL went down from 168 to 88. So every day is another opportunity to improve your life. And I'm going to unmute everybody. There we are.
That's amazing, Connie. Just amazing.
We forget. I hate to even look at those pictures. Yes, but it also is, you know, it's good to look at that and remember. And if I had not become a coach, and if I had not had other people to hold me accountable, and I've even had to deal with 20 pounds up, 20 pounds down. Yeah. But I can always do it simply by getting compliant and get back on the program. And the best part of the program is it being formulated perfectly, so where you have the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats, the right amount of proteins. And when you get yourself committed, it works, but you can't add anything to it. All right, Marcia she doesn't really cook, so her lean and greens were her the meals that MedFast did.
Yes.
But you still made it work for you. You did very well on the program.
He did.
So anybody else want to contribute anything else? I've pretty much bared my soul.
I just have a feeling I'm not going to win this challenge this month.
Uh-oh.
What's happening?
I put on some weight. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to lose it in time for the 15th. So.
Does that affect
the team at all?
Wow.
I know.
That's okay. That's okay. But you are mindful, you know. I read in your posts where you say that, you know, you're going to take care of it. That's one of the things about, I think, being in the challenge is whether you go up and down or whatever you do, it's still better than you would do if you weren't in the challenge.
True. Very true.
Yeah. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
But does it affect the team if I don't win this challenge or what?
Mm-mm.
No, not at all.
Okay.
The way that works is the points affect the place that you're in terms of.
Okay.
But the points you need to get there, it's listed up there what the minimum is. We always exceed that,
Okay.
and then you meet the goal that you picked for yourself.
Okay.
What's interesting about the maintenance, and I remember back when I had a lady that she didn't want to pick to lose because she was she really wasn't in a mind to lose. That really wasn't what she intended, but she wanted to try out the challenge as the first one. And so she picked to maintain, but she didn't realize she couldn't gain any weight because that margin is real small.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 1 or 2 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get messed up real quick on that. And so when she realized she had to maintain within 1 to 2 pounds of what she was at, she did, and she ended up losing 5 pounds.
Great.
Yeah, but it kept her from gaining weight, which I think she would have had she not been in the challenge, and even though she picked maintenance. And I like maintenance because you can still lose, like this is a 4-week challenge, so you can still lose 3.99% of your weight and still win. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Martha.
Also, don't worry. I have gained a few pounds. I got to gain at least 4 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So I have to eat a lot of stuff to get my.
Well, you can put something in your pockets. They can't see your pockets.
Yeah, I got to eat double food. But I have to gain because I need to get to 185.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me, guys. Anybody else have anything? Did you like the parable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
I'd never heard it.
Yeah. Well, I also heard the same time, it's in one of the books I'm reading, where they talked about an elephant. And they said when an elephant is a baby, they chain it. And when it gets older, it makes no difference what they pull around its leg. It still believes it can't move.
Mm.
And I remember seeing little ropes on an elephant and saying, why does that elephant stay in place? Because it's got that little rope. It could just pull it. But they become convinced they can't move. Their experience when they're younger and what they start believing. Tony, tell them their story about the horse when they're babies.
When I was racing horses, when they're born and they get on their feet, you know, and they eat, you go every day, you go and pick them up and carry them around the barn or in the field, whatever, you carry them. And, you know, they're just a little baby. And you do that till you can't pick them up anymore. And then when they get to walk and everything, and you go like this, they stop because they always believe you could pick them up. No matter if they weigh 500 pounds, they got in their mind, he could pick me up, so I better do it still. Learn from him. So, yeah, they get to believe they're just bigger and stronger than they are.
Yeah. So, and all 3 of those analogies I know apply to me, and I would think they apply to other people in terms of we get a thought in our head, and then that's our guiding force. We don't change it until we change our belief. And when you feel like that something's pointless, then you don't really make the effort, well, at least as much as you would if you knew it was possible, you know. So a lot of it is about changing your beliefs and changing your life.
I don't know if you listen to the news today, but in New York, they're putting a stop to salt in the restaurants because so much salt people are eating in their restaurant with the food. For example, Subway sandwiches have 29,000. 29,000. Yeah. And, you know, you're only supposed to have, 3,000 for the day or a spoon. And all the food in all the restaurants are just loaded with salt. So New York is putting a thing on all the restaurants. They have to cut down on the salt they put in the food. You know, so
that was good.
Salt intake, that's the biggest thing. Salt.
You know, there's so many things that have nothing to do with that can help you with maintaining or losing weight, and one of them is chewing your food. I heard them say today that they did a study with 3 groups of people, and one group chewed their food 25 times a bite, one group chewed their food 50 times a bite, and one group chewed their food only 7 times a bite. And the weight loss was directly correlated with that, with nothing else changing. So even chewing your food can help you lose weight. Drinking that water first thing in the morning, flushing out all the waste that has been left in your body over the night, that will help you. The prince, the king, the prince, and the pauper. Have y'all heard that analogy?
No.
No? So the theory is you eat like a king in the morning. That's when you have your biggest meal. You eat like a prince at noon, and you eat like a pauper at night.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah. And this makes sense because of and the study was with people eating the same food in controlled situations, but them eating in that order, king, prince, pauper, as opposed to people eating the other way around. Like a lot of people hardly eat breakfast and they'll grab lunch, but the dinner tends to be their biggest meal. And the people who did the king, prince, pauper lost weight, where the other ones gained weight, using all the same food. The sumo wrestler, they call eating a big meal at night a sumo diet because that's how they put all that weight on them, was by eating at night. Yeah. So those are little things that you can do that will help you in terms of maintaining or lose your weight. There you go, Marcia. Maybe that'll help. Tony and I are going to get back to going to LA Fitness. We both are in a place where now we can start scheduling that.
Great, great.
Jan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
You got any?
I got an appointment. I'm going to have to leave you.
Oh, okay. Well, it was good for you to be here.
I was glad I made this one.
Well, thank you.
It was really interesting.
Glad you did too.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't bore anybody.
You can
I
bore us.
go backwards, but if it'll help anybody, I don't mind sharing.
Good. Always love your sharing.
Well, thank you. Well, I'll see everybody next Tuesday, and we'll meet in the room. Thanks for coming.
Okay. Good night.
Okay.
See you guys next week.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Night.
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 Love you all.
Jake and Marcia, do you guys want to talk with Colleen for a while?
Do you have a minute or no, Ma?
Yeah.
Have a minute. I'm not going to do much tonight.